Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts, episode number 13. This will be all of Neverland. I really summed this up into one long episode. It really is a quick episode if you, or a quick world, if you know, like, how to work through it. I went through and figured it out myself, so it definitely takes me a lot longer than it looks like in this episode, but, yeah, like I said, at the same point in time there, it's not overly hard if you know the path forward. Like I said, in some elements I didn't, but in most I was at least somewhat close. Let me get a notepad here. I want to mark down that Neverland logo is at the 30-second mark.
Sora.
Maybe I'll just type it in my phone real quick. That's what I'm probably going to use for the intro here, unless I find something worth value. But here we can see Riku out here,
More important than
who's
old
being
friends.
a punk.
Instead of worrying about them, you should be asking about her.
Kairi!
That's right. While you were off goofing around, I finally found her.
And we can see Riku has found Kairi. Let's open Soda Pop to make this memorable moment ingrained.
The Heartless obey me now, Sora.
Riku has sided with the Heartless. Not a good sign. Definitely not grand.
Stupid.
Not something we were hoping for.
Not a chance.
But,
My heart's too strong.
Riku.
You know, that kind of sucks.
I've picked up a few other tricks as well. Like this, for instance.
Oh boy, he's able to summon a shadow version of me.
You
It
can
kind of
go see your
sucks.
friends now.
Ah!
Let's get underway already.
So Riku's completely like closed off to me at this
Keep
point.
Sora away from Kairi
He doesn't give a shit
until we're ready to
what I
land.
care about anymore. Kind of sucks. He's a cool character. And you can see there's some dynamic here between Riku and Hook. Hook's not a fan of him either. So,
Then keep an eye on the brats.
But Captain, you know who is also down.
Did you hear that?
did you hear that, Shmi? The dreadful sound.
Dreadful sound.
No, Captain.
Are you quite sure? Did I imagine it?
So the captain is hearing sounds of, obviously if you've seen the movie, I forget if it's an alligator or a crocodile. I just
You don't say.
Yeah.
convinced those two words.
I finally found her.
I'm gonna stop elaborating on that and actually go into this moment here because it's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, my boss.
I really like
Oh,
I really
sorry.
like those small moments with the trio like that. It brings me a lot of joy. I'm sure you can tell by the way that I laughed at it there that it's genuine
Looking for a way out?
fun. And then we get to meet Peter Pan,
Who are you?
of course. And Peter Pan, I love to have him on the team. Once again, going off of the last world,
Fine. Have it your way.
I would not,
But you're stuck in here
especially
too,
as far
aren't
as
you?
like plot progression goes,
Nope,
I
I'm
would
just
not
waiting
keep
for
Peter
someone.
Pan on your team. You'll need Trinities to progress, and if you don't have
Tinkerbell, what
Donald
took you
and
so
Goofy
long?
at your side, you cannot use Trinities. So
Great
if you have
job.
Peter Pan on the
So
team,
you found Wendy?
you'll be lost for a long time, and that's what happened to me.
Hold on.
And
There
I
was
think as a
another
young
girl there,
kid,
too?
that's what got me stuck on this world for so
Are
long.
you
This is
crazy?
why
There's
it's only
no
one
way
episode.
I'm gonna
It's
leave
because
Wendy there.
this world was very frustrating as a kid. Somewhat frustrating as an adult here, but I was able to figure it out a lot quicker. You know, I was a lot more familiar with the game, so
Come on,
I
Tim.
figured it out a little bit
Open
more
up the
quickly.
door.
But at the same point in time, still frustrating. So
I'm Peter Pan.
I'm Sora.
Okay, we're in this together, but only till we find Wendy.
I'm burping. Ooh. We're only in this until we find Wendy. Fair enough, Peter Pan. If you want to be like that, let's do it then, buddy. Let's go over here. Let's save quick. Yeah, here you can see our actual game time play. So we're at, I mean, that's pretty fair for our episode count. This is episode 13 and we're at 12 hours and 49 minutes. So I've been able to sum up each hour into like 30, 40 minutes. Sometimes 20, sometimes 40. Most of the time 30. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've cut out like half the game for you. It's honestly pretty impressive. You know, it's little things like that that I look back and I'm like, maybe I saved somebody a little bit of time. At first I think this guy's glitched, but actually what happened is somebody used stops on him, so he's about to take all that damage at once here. I forgot stops existed for a second. So, you know, that's cool. At least that was able to happen there. Let me go up here. I'm looking around. See, earlier in this episode, like up until a few minutes from now, it's very uncut because I was just really trying to explore the world and get to know it a little bit better, but eventually, you know, we go back to our cutty ways because we have to cut out bits and pieces that aren't really valuable of me just chopping away at Heartless for hours on end. But you can see there's like a trinity that we could just progress the story right now, but I'm unaware that that trinity exists. So instead we go through that door on the left, which leads us down into a hole, and here you can see us coming up the hole on the other side.
So, how come you can fly?
And Peter Pan's gonna explain the nuances of flying. Which, once again, we get a legitimate funny moment from the trio here. And just like the last episode, like I said, it is getting to be springtime now. You know, things are starting to warm up a little bit, so if you hear any traffic in the background or anything like that, just please make me aware of it in the comments. There's Donald falling on his face. Fucking duck. But, yeah, if you hear any background car noise or anything like that, please let me know. I know it's definitely... Some people on Twitch told me that they heard it. So if you can hear it, just let me know. I try to weave around it as much as humanly possible, but please continue to bear with me until we get the air conditioning, you know, fully in place and stuff like that, because right now I'm just working with window fans and shit, so it's a little bit hard to work around, but with the type of dog I have, she doesn't react well to being warm, so if anything I have to be in like a sweatshirt, hoodie, and sweatpants while inside, and then change into shorts when I go outside, otherwise she'll throw a hissy fit, so, you know, just bear with me on that. The things I give up for this puppy.
The prisoners have escaped. What's more, Peter Pan is with them.
But the prisoners escape, Peter Pan is with them.
All right, then. Bring the hostage
You know,
to
the usual
cabin,
MO.
Steve. Up to it.
What is it, Tink?
Peter? Peter Pan?
There we get to see Wendy a little bit, talking with Peter
Hurry,
Pan.
the pirates are coming.
What? I'll be right up there. Just hold on.
Wendy,
Yes?
is there another girl in there with you?
Oh, why, yes. But she seems to be asleep. She hasn't budged an inch.
And here you can see
Kyrie?
Sora's asking about
Kyrie.
Kyrie, and you can see Kyrie moves a little bit. And this is a really, honestly, I like these little moments between Sora and Kyrie.
Oh,
Wendy! Hey,
It's
let's
nice
get
to
up
have
there.
like little moments like that throughout this first game. You know, in the following games, you would hope that Kyrie becomes a badass. Spoiler alert. She fucking doesn't. Disappointing. I mean, she is in one game for brief moments in time, but they don't do a good job at, like, developing her character arc at all. Especially because, like, you'll see everything she goes through at the end of this game. Like, she should come out being a badass female character, but doesn't, and it's really disappointing. But here you can see, we could just end up going around. He bangs on this door, and we could just go around in circles after this. Like, if you're a young kid, you could get really, really stuck here. What you need to do is bring out the trio and step on this trinity here. Have Donald reach up, use their trio powers, and knock this down, so that way we can progress into the top of the ship. That's the only way to move forward. Otherwise, you're screwed. Like, indefinitely. You cannot progress without doing that trinity, which kinda sucks. Yeah, I could talk at great length into that, but I really don't feel like I need to. I really feel like people would understand why that sucks. That you can't have the key character from this world help you in that situation. Now we need to beat this dark version of Sora. This really is tough because he has like the same movesets and stuff, so he's really good at parrying anything we do to him. Along with that, he also has like dark moves that we don't have, so it becomes like extremely difficult to even get in to attack him. Like he's constantly just up our ass. You need to just roll away anytime he comes out of that. When he goes into this walking stage, you can hit him. But you need to be careful about like when you get hit and how you get hit, because sometimes he'll get you into like a, you know, like a parryable moment where he could just completely contradict anything you're doing to him, which can get very frustrating very quickly. And you'll see some of his other abilities as we go on here, but he's not to be like taken lightly. Like he could really devastate your party. And it's one of those rare moments where I wish I heal up Donald, because it's really important. Especially here, he starts making clones of himself, and if you hit the clones, it does nothing. But if you hit him, you can get some good damage in. Yeah, it just becomes annoying, and here he starts spawning from the floor and just doing like these upward spiral attacks that are like unfair. It's he's not like completely unfair, because you can, like I said, like that right there, you could just spawn up behind him and completely parry anything that he's doing. But then he starts spawning all this shit, and he starts like an immediate attack after you attack. But it's only really efficient, like here I go after this guy, not the spawn of him. That's when it's efficient. If you go after the spawn of him, he just spawns more of him, so it becomes impossible to deal any damage to him. So you need to go after that, get a combo in, and then spawn away. And Donald has been the champ in healing me lately. I'll give him that. Donald has limited like all of his resources to myself, and I'm very happy with that. Usually it's not that way at all. Then we get out of the way. See, I'm on the wrong one there. This is where having that HP bar status show is really, really effective, because we get to see, obviously the one that we're hitting is going to have a larger health bar than the fake ones, and that wasn't introduced until the final mix version that we're seeing here. That wasn't in my original gameplay. Like, this was all like just kind of take your best bet when I first played through the game. So, you know, it's nice to see that they made this a little bit more viable of an option to play against. But at the end of the day, I don't know, you know, it still holds its, I almost wish there was a little bit more uncertainty about it, like more of a reason for me to pay attention instead of button mash. But I also like not being completely destroyed because of unfair game mechanics. To which, it isn't completely unfair, but it's also not like you could really memorize anything that he does and come up with anything other than nonsense. He doesn't have much health left, so I'm trying to stay, like, somewhat offensive, but also, like, primarily defensive. I'm just trying not to take a lot of damage from him, because this is like a boss fight, or a semi-boss fight, that you could really lose and get in trouble with for almost no apparent reason. You know, this is really one that could do you really dirty, just for the sake of doing you dirty. Now he's jumping across the floor, just trying to hit us. Obviously, I just want to hit him. Yeah, I just want to end the boss fight here, so let's end that. That's like our half boss fight. And fun fact, if you don't defeat him there, Sora does not have a shadow throughout the rest of the game. So if you were to travel to other worlds, everybody else will have a shadow, but I would not. But now let's jump down through here, now that we've unlocked that category, just so that way we can have this split takeaway cutscene. in which Peter Pan leaves us out in the fucking dust.
Come on, Tink. Not now. Well, this is as far as I can go. I gotta help Wendy.
He's gotta help Wendy. Okay, see you later, Peter Pan. You've only really screwed us. So now let's go out and fight the captain. The captain.
Quite a codfish, that Riku, running off with that girl without even saying goodbye.
Thank you,
Run off
Captain.
where? Tell me, where did he go?
Where'd he go?
To the ruins of Hollow Bastion.
To the ruins of Hollow
Where
Bastion.
Maleficent
Where Melissa
resides.
Fitz. And this is where I think this episode's coming out on a Tuesday here. I think Thursday, maybe even Sunday, we'll have some grindy episodes. Because Hollow Bastion is really like the peak of this game. It's where all the shit goes down. It's not the end, but it truly is where shit hits the fan in this game. So I'd like to take a little bit of a break before that happens. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll save that for when I get back. But like I said, I'm going on a vacation here in the first week of April, so I'm trying to plan all my stuff around that. Streaming wise, it's really tough to do, but here it's a little bit easier, you know. All this stuff is done about a week or two ahead of time, so we're in good shape as of right now. But we will see where we will be at that point in time. You know, it might be a different story. Maybe we'll do Hollow Bastion, then we'll do the actual grindy stuff, which was originally my plan, but I'd put it this way, I'd rather spend like a Tuesday, Thursday grinding and kill a whole week than to do Thursday, Sunday, but it's all timing wise. It depends on when this stuff is actually coming out and when it's being recorded and stuff like that, so I'll leave that up to your imagination right now, because there's not any date
Peter. Hey, don't mention
stored when I
You
save the
didn't think
game,
I'd
so
leave you and Tink behind, did you?
we'll have no way of knowing. Oh, we upgraded our cure. That's a big deal. It gives us the instructions on how to fly, which are a lot more intuitive on how to swim. How to swim was a nightmare. How to fly is a ton easier. And here, there's a mandatory, like, you have to just beat all these Heartless and then you can progress. There's a number of treasure chests and stuff we can get here. Like I said, that's all going to be captured in a later episode where we go and we capture, you know, all the grindiness along with gathering items, gathering all the chests that we missed along the way and stuff like that. And stuff that we couldn't reach before that now we can reach. Yeah, that's all part of, like, this end game here. And I want to keep you all involved in that. You know, what it actually looks like to go through and not 100% the game, because I don't want to show every single chest. Obviously, I cut out bits and pieces as I record and things like that, but I really want to show what it's like to, you know, get the majority of it, how much work goes into it, because I think it's really understated. I think this game has a lot to offer in terms of exploratory value and things like that not a lot of people appreciate, so, you know, definitely something that I want to bring to light there. Now we're beating away at these Heartless. Let's just deal with these guys. Send them out of the sky. Sorry, I did like a channel update in the middle of, like, this nonsense. I mean, if you really wanted a channel update, there's a new Pokemon game coming out. You know, it was just announced a few weeks ago. Somebody, That Cool Raichu, asked me about it in the comments section of one of my videos, and you can see my opinions on it there, but I might be fitting that in later in the year as well. I mean, definitely when it comes out, I'll be playing it. That's all I could really say at this point in time, but as long as it doesn't interfere with Kingdom Hearts 2, it will be a top priority. That would be my... Even if it does, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough to say, because when stuff comes out like that, man, it's just tough to ignore. That, like, it's definitely gonna do well. It's definitely gonna help the channel. So, even though it might not be whatever, like, it might not be like, oh, this is my favorite thing in the world to do right now, I'd rather be playing Kingdom Hearts 2. It is one of those things that, in the long term, it gets views, right? And that's as simply as I can put it. I don't like to do stuff just for the sake of views, but when it comes to like something like that where it's a Let's Play, we're doing Let's Plays of Kingdom Hearts games that are several years old, like, we can always return to them. So, that's how the next Pokemon Let's Plays are gonna go. Like I said,
Did you finish them off?
Nintendo hasn't
Aye, Captain.
set
They want
a
to
strict
play
date on that,
every last one
so
of them.
I can't really plan around it right now, but I'm really hoping it comes out before November, December. Sometime before then, because that's when I was going to do Pokemon Shield anyways, which I wasn't
Now it's your turn.
overly excited to do. I was curious, because I never played them yet, but, you know, we'll see. And now we have our Hook fight. Fighting here with Captain Hook there. Captain Hook's a bastard to fight. I'm not gonna lie. He is a pain in the ass. I think the key here is to get him in combos like that and hit him overboard. You'll see what happens when we hit him overboard. I'll tell you, one of the main keys is not to hit him with fire. If you hit him with fire, he goes into a frenzy and is like really, really damaging to the group. But if you hit him overboard, he'll fly into the water and he gets scared of the crocodile slash alligator foe that he has laying down there. And then from there, you'll be able to... See, he does that frenzy there, but he does it like all over the map if you hit him with fire. So here, we knock him into the water like that, and then he comes up and he's like, no, 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 no. And he runs to the center there, and then he just drops down. But if you catch him in the air there, you could get some free combos on the way down, which is the key way to deal with him. But we need to deal with this Heartless first. I just don't realize it at this moment because it's been so long since I've been in a fight with Captain Hook that I don't want to continue to do chip damage. So let's go for the Heartless first. Let's knock him out of the way so that way we're not contending. Right, Donald and Goofy aren't going to be dealing damage to this guy. They're only going to be dealing damage to Captain Hook then, which is like the long-term goal. Like, all we want is for Donald and Goofy to not be avoiding Captain Hook. Like, there's no reason to not be focused on the main boss here. And I really start to utilize the... If you hold lock, like if you lock down on an enemy like I am now, and then hit Y, all of your teammates' attention will go to whatever you're targeting. And I've really started to use that like the past episode or two. It makes a world of difference. There we go, he jumps into the water, and you can see he goes over here, and then you could just combo him in the air, like that. So you get 3 free hits, which is pretty good against somebody who's being hard to deal with. And then you just keep hitting him in the water like that. He'll fly up, he'll come over here, and then just combo him. Get him as close to the edge as you can. There, I didn't get to finish my combo, but I mean, I think you can get the general idea of what I'm trying to go for. And then from here, just tank these Heartless ships as much as humanly possible. At the bare minimum, they drop health and magic orbs, so you're getting something out of them, right? You're not completely just stuck fighting Captain Hook. And sometimes him trying to attack you will drag him into the water, which you just saw there. He almost fell in just trying to come after us. Like, his AI isn't smart enough to tell him to keep him out of the water. He'll just continue to go through that. You can see he's falling down right there because he's trying to follow us. He's not smart enough to not know that when we're out of sight, don't attack us. He is a bastard to deal with, I'll give him that. He's a harder Disney boss that we've had to fight thus far. But on the easier side, we could just float away in any situation where he drains our HP and hit him over the side like that and just have him respawn right up here and then just continue to combo him. Like, it's... Because we could fly and get out of the way of him, I consider him not as much as a threat as other Disney bosses, even though his move pool, his way of attacking and stuff like that is a lot more aggressive than the majority have been. You just have to remember here, like, when your HP in this game is looking somewhat okay, it's actually really low. It's hard to keep that in mind. There you can see, he got lit on fire from the Heartless ship. Oh, I want to defeat him one-on-one on land. Because it is truly a sword fight. At this point, it's just me versus him. But we just deal with him like that. But like I said, yeah, it's... You know, there's a lot of ways to get around that fight. I feel like he's more fair than anything else. Like, it's just a very fair battle. Captain gets chased away by the alligator or crocodile or whatever that guy is. We learn that ability and we get another Ansem's report. Very nice, very nice. Now there's a dog barking outside. That's terrific. Always gives me a bright and easy feeling about the remainder of my night here.
Sora.
So yeah, they think his heart is genuinely gone. But then we get to Sora here,
It really flew. Wait till I tell Kyrie.
who's holding out such high hopes for Kyrie.
Probably not.
He's such a good,
You can bring her to
like,
Neverland.
good-minded person.
Then she can try it herself.
If you believe, you can do
Yeah,
anything.
parts like this
right?
really hit deep.
I'll find Kyrie. I know I will. There's so much I want to tell her about flying, the pirates.
I think this is why I
everything
love
else she's
games like this. Because, you know, deep down, I think we all want to feel like that.
What's that, Tink? What about the clock tower?
You know,
There's
it's
something there.
it's just very true. That's what I feel like. But here we go to the clock tower, where there's a boss battle that we'll never fight because it's a post-game boss battle, and it's the most unfair post-game boss battle I've ever seen in my whole entire life, and we'll never do it because there's no way to get around it. Like yeah, it's not fun. It's not fair. We're never gonna end up doing it. So if you want to search up the Phantom boss battle, Kingdom Hearts 1, go ahead and search that up. But I'm not going to be displaying it in this playthrough at all. It would just take me weeks to do that one. I've tried to do it before. And here we are. I jolted right to the clock section here. I looked around a little bit. There's a few chests and things like that, but there's nothing major that you'll miss from those couple minutes there. Of me searching around the area. But here we go. We got it up there. The front-facing dial of this clock is the only one that's not at that time, so it gives you a big hint to go and hit that dial to make it that time. And then, obviously, yeah, you saw me hitting it. Once you hit it, you get the keyhole for this world. Let's go ahead and seal that up. It is completely sealed. Open another soda pop, even though there's only a minute or two left. And here we get to see this moment from Riku's perspective. When we grow up, let's get off this island. We'll go on real adventures. Not this kid stuff. Sure, but isn't there anything we can do for now? Hey, you know that new girl at the mayor's house? She arrived last night in the meteor shower. Riku looks back and he actually gets to see the keyhole on Destiny Islands, which is a big moment. And he doesn't share that with Sora. And now we get to see Riku in distress.
It was reckless to bring her here without at least using a vessel. Remember,
So he brought Kyrie
relying
here.
too heavily on the dark powers could cost you your heart.
And the darkness could take his heart. Because he's using it recklessly.
A castaway. Though his world perished, his heart did not. When we took the princess from his castle,
And we could
he
hear
apparently followed her here through sheer
a soon-to-be ally
But fear
howling
not.
out there.
No harm will come to you. He is no match for your power.
My power?
Okay.
Yes. The
Untapped power that lies within you. So, Riku, yeah, has a lot of power in him, which I will explain later in great detail.
And realize your
When I go
full
through and actually
potential.
explain this game from start to finish. And as I break down the series as a whole. But we're not going to get into that in this episode, because that's too much to fucking die for right now.
Peter?
Too much to
are you
unfold.
really
It's
going back to
a lot.
Neverland?
Afraid so.
And now we get the
See each
Disney
other
movie
anytime,
plot
as
here,
long as you
right?
don't forget about Neverland.
Like they have to
is.
interject that in some way, keep credibility amongst the lines and things like that. I understand. It could be annoying hearing it time and time again. Even Donald is agreeing with me, but he learned to keep his mouth shut, just like me. But not like me. My mouth is wide open.
she's getting
So
steamed
geez,
again.
even Donald's doing better than average Joe
Do me
here.
a favor. Look after her
But
for
now
me,
we have
will
the
ya?
Tinkerbell summon, which is actually a pretty solid summon, to be honest. I'll try and incorporate it in the next episode. And we got the Fairy Harp, which is a pretty cool Keyblade, and we also learned as a team how to glide. Vitally important moving forward. Now we can traverse a whole shitload of areas that we weren't able to before. Which is... I think I've stated before, I didn't know you could equip new items, Keyblades, abilities, any of that stuff when I played through the first time as a kid, and I made it all the way to Hollow Bastion. So, I was really impressed with myself, but I kept dying on Hollow Bastion, and my PS2 recording card at that time eventually gave out, or my PS2 memory card eventually gave out, and I lost at Hollow Bastion, but that's a different story, and maybe expresses some of my aggravation around the series as a whole. But with only a few seconds left, that is it for this episode, folks. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, or even consider subscribing, because all that stuff is free and greatly beneficial to the motivation of the channel making videos in the future. Until the next episode, take it all easy, and we will see you all here bright and early on the next episode. Once again, take it easy, and everybody just stay fantastic out there, I guess, right? Just live a fantastic life, and keep on rocking.